I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why I don't perform traditional neck adjustments. Now, to start, it is not because of my concern for stroke, artery dissections in the neck. That is absolutely not why I have changed the way that I practice. I'm going to give you a lot of resources down below just to justify that that is definitely not my reason and why it is not a concern for me. I'm also going to give you one specific resource down below, and that is a 2025 study, the title being Risk Factors for Cervical Artery Dissection, a Systematic Review with Meta-Analysis. Just means it was a big review, okay? And what they noted was the findings. They suggest that cervical spine manipulative therapy is not a significant risk factor for cervical artery dissections. Now that's important to start because I don't want that to be the reason for me not doing neck adjustments. It is actually very different. So here are my reasons why I don't. First one, I just didn't need to. I will explain after what I do instead, but I just didn't need to. The second reason is because of that fear that is out there. A lot of patients come in with fear and concern. And I didn't want to be doing anything that any of my patients that trust me very well were not comfortable with. And the third thing that got me away from traditional neck adjustments is that I understood joint instability, specifically upper cervical instability. Because what happens is with this, then there does tend to be something of a risk, something of a concern where if we're adjusting anybody with upper cervical instability, it is a relative concern and contraindication that we can have adverse events that we want to be careful of. Now, it doesn't mean that it's absolute no, it just means there must be much more concern. So these are actually the reasons why I shifted away from traditional neck adjustments, which you would consider the ones that make noise, they have a lot of force that people just don't prefer. And some people love them, and if you do, all the power to you, trust your practitioner. But I'm just saying, for me, these are the reasons because my practice takes a different focus. So number one, why don't I need to? Well, if people have neck pain, neck issues, what do I do instead? The very first thing that I've been doing for many, many years is actually just treating the upper cervical spine, and that is addressing C1 alignment alone. Okay, because by addressing C1 alignment, for me, I was able to tap into all the same neurological impacts that we can do with regular adjusting simply by performing gentle mobilizations on the C1 vertebra. The other reason why I didn't need to, is I was also addressing the symptomatic pain in the neck, which was actually cervical spine joint capsule sprain, so it was a sprain. And so when we started addressing that specifically with some release work and homework, we were able to address things even better than I ever was able to. So that is why I just didn't need to. I addressed C1, I addressed joint capsules, and people are extremely happy. The second thing that I do is if patients have any fear, I talk to them. And if they have concerns about anything, we pivot and we change it to whatever they are comfortable with doing. And I find all of my patients have been comfortable with C1 correction and what we choose to do in number one, but I like to have that discussion with patients and make sure we have communication. The third thing I do is I treat the instability. So that is one thing I focus on with my courses. Yes, I teach C1 adjusting, but I also teach how to address cervical instability and ligament laxity. Remembering that there are 3 types of ligament laxity that are very important to address. So what I do is I treat the ligament laxity in the neck and resulting joint instability. As I mentioned, these are things that I teach practitioners if they don't know. If you are looking to learn more about these concepts, that is in my resources that I will put below. But I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with traditional neck adjusting. It is just something that I have, for these reasons, deviated away from. If you are interested in learning more about how to provide these, I will put it below in the comments.